Hi there, Lewis Clifford here, and in this module I'm going to be showing you, this is an updated module for 2014, and I'm going to be showing you the WordPress settings and how to sort of set up your WordPress blog once you've installed WordPress onto your domain name. So if you want to know how to set up WordPress, install WordPress onto your domain, then you need to check with your hosting account. They'll probably have a button on your cPanel which you just can press, and it will take you through the steps, or video tutorials like mine does as well. If not, watch my previous module on installing a WordPress blog onto your domain. So this is for when you've installed it and now we're ready to set it up. So when you install a WordPress onto your domain, this is what your domain will look like. So here's mine, the 52dietformen.com, and I have already tweaked one bit of it, and it's just the description here. Yours may well say in this bit here, welcome to my WordPress blog, this is my WordPress blog, or something like that. Anyway, don't worry about that. I sometimes I can't resist sort of getting in there and doing these things straight away because I love WordPress. It's such a wonderful blogging platform. It is so easy to adapt, change. There are so many themes. Themes are just the way that it looks. So this is the default theme, which I think looks pretty cool. Just the way it looks, nice and simple, but you don't really want to use the default theme, although I'm very tempted. This is the 2014 default theme. It's just so easy, and most blogs that you visit will be based on a WordPress platform, a WordPress blog. It's just so easy to use, and you get really cool looking websites and blogs. So when you first install WordPress onto your domain name, as I said, this is what you'll come up with. This is what it'll look like when you go to your main domain. This is what you should see. Hello world, this is the posts. So these are the posts, so your blogs or your posts. This is the default one, hello world. All WordPress blogs will have that as their sort of default post. That's fine. We're going to delete that. We don't want it. And then your page. In this case, in this theme, you see up here, sample page. I'll just show you what your page look like. You can change the page names, add pages. So on this case, in the menu, there will be across the top the different pages up here. This is a sample page again, just showing you what the font looks like, and the different fonts that you can have in there, and what it'll look like as sort of a typical page that you might want to use. Again, we can change all of that, and I'll come to that. I just wanted to show you, I'll go back to the main bit, what the WordPress blog looks like when you first install it. Down the side here, this is our sidebar. We call this a sidebar. I prefer my sidebar on the right, so I will find a theme that does that. Don't worry about that. Most of them tend to have them on the right anyway. These sections here, recent posts, that search section there, recent comments, archives, categories. These are what we call widgets, and they're things that you very easy to change, which I'll come to. We're going to change these around. We don't want those ones. And we're going to add new widgets and things like that. Very exciting. All very straightforward. If a visitor was visiting your site, they're not going to see this bit here at the top. This is because I'm already logged into the admin page for this. Yeah, so all these bits here, it's only because I'm already logged into the admin page. And I'm going to go to the admin page, which is where we change the look and we set all the settings for our WordPress blog. And that's what I'm going to take you through now. So I'm going to go to my WordPress blog. I've already got it open here. My domain is just your WP domain. Okay, and this is the dashboard, and this is where we can manage the widgets, the menus. I mean, they've updated WordPress, or they always update it, but the 2014 here, it's even more easier to customize your site. Now, what I'm going to take you through is some of the key settings that you need, and the way that we want to set up our site to optimize it for the search engines, and also just for the way that people navigate their way through the site. Now, some of the settings I'm going to take you through, you need to do sort of before you start blog posting and posting your blogs and writing content and adding it, and etc., because if you change them later, then it can cause you a lot of problems. A lot of the other settings, it doesn't matter. You can change the themes and it won't have any kind of detrimental effect, so you can experiment with different themes just by installing new themes, and it doesn't change everything. All your content remains the same, etc. So don't worry about that. But some of the settings, which I will come to, it's very important that you do them straight away, because you do not want to change them again, because it means that some of your posts and stuff might get lost, or the links might not work, etc., because you've changed basically the bits at the top here, the URL section. And I'll come to it if it all sounds very confusing. Don't worry, I'm going to go through each section and tell you what you need to do to sort of get set up. So without further ado, let's take a look. So this is your dashboard. Very easy to customize your site, manage the widgets and the menus. So this section here is where you add your posts. This section here is where we upload photographs and add new media and video and music and sound, whatever we want to do. This is a section for adding new pages, writing pages. This is the comments section. You probably won't have this because this is Mojo Marketplace, which just comes sort of installed as default because of my relationship it has with my hosting company, so that's fine, don't worry about that. Appearance, this is where we have our themes and customize our themes. Widgets, I'll show you themes quickly. So here are some the active current theme here. This is the current theme I've got. This is the theme for 2013. This one would be for 2012. You can add new themes, very easy to do. You can search installed themes. You can search the WordPress.org themes, Mojo themes. As I say, you might not have that. These are paid themes. Themes are free. There are thousands and thousands of WordPress themes that are free, which are really cool, professional, glossy, fantastic, easy to change and make unique. So don't worry about that. You don't have to pay for stuff if you don't want to. And I'll be showing you that and installing a new theme later. And then customizing those themes are very easy here. Widgets are basically the bits in the sidebar, which I'm going to come to. Don't worry, I'm rushing through all these. I'll come to them later. Menus is basically how the menus are presented on the blog, so how people navigate your site. The header, which is the bit across the top, you can add images and stuff like that. The background look, and then this is the editor. You probably want to go in that for quite a while. That's for people with a lot of HTML or WordPress design experience, etc. So you probably want to be doing that. Plugins we'll come to later because there's a whole separate section, but that's just like they're kind of like apps that you just install, and they can do loads of whizzy stuff and help you make your site, give your site extra tools and facilities. Now, first things first, let's go to users. This is the first thing I want you to go to. So here we are, we're going to go to all users. So this is me, it's my username, and I'm the administrator. So that's quite simple. We don't want to add any new, then we're going to look at your profile. This is how your name will appear on your blog post if they come at the, this blog post is by so-and-so, and also just your general profile. So what I've done here is I put my nickname, just not really important. I put my first name in here, Lewis Clifford. There we are. This is how I want my name to be displayed publicly. So on my blog post, so that it just says who this blog post is by. It's by Lewis Clifford. Otherwise, it will default to whatever your admin name is. So you want to change that. My email. If I want people to contact me, and whether I have a different site, which I might fill out later, and a biography. You can fill that out later. That's not important. Next, we're going to go to settings. Okay, settings is the next bit. And what we want here is general. So let's go to general settings. So this is some important bits that we want. So this is our site title. You really want your main keyword to be part of what the title is. 5-2 diet for men. And the tagline here, how the 5-2 diet worked for me. You can change these things, it's not going to ultimately affect it, but you want to make it have your main sort of keywords and elements in there. This is your URL address, so that's pretty straightforward, and this is your site address. Again, you don't want to be changing those, keep those. Email address, if you know, for your for admin and contact purposes. I'll change that later to the one that I want, and the rest you can kind of just leave for now. It's just date formats, etc., etc. Save changes if you've made any changes. All pretty straightforward. Next bit is writing. So again here, nothing really to change. The default post category at the moment, so post categories are basically sort of subsections that you can enter your posts under. So you might do a post, in this case, this is my diet diary, this is my suggested menus, these are my sort of exercise routines, or whatever it is. So different sections, different subsections that you might want to include each separate post under. At the moment they're uncategorized. We'll be adding them later, so we'll come back to this. Default post format, I'm going to keep it standard, but there's lots of different varieties, but just keep it standard. Again, you can post by email, but I'm not going to go into that. So that's, you can just send an email account and it automatically posts. Quite handy if you're on the move. And then we're going to add in some services here. So every time you update your blog or add a new blog post, it automatically, what we call, pings it. So basically lets the search engines know and other search engines that your site has just added new content, which is what you want to be doing anyway. And we're going to add a whole list of other sort of update services here, not just this single one, later. So any changes is there, you just hit save change. Reading. Now in this case our front page is going to be our latest posts. You're going to have a static page, so like a single page with that, not a post page. You might hit static and then you might select which page. In this case, the only page you've got is sample page when you've added other pages. So this is a site, people go to yourmain.com, your domain name.com, this is what they'll see. In this case, I want people to see my posts first. You can decide how much of the posts you want to show at any one time. You can decide whether you want them to be full text posts to see the whole posts, or just a list of the summaries that people can click on. That's going to be up to you. Doesn't make any difference. And then search engine visibility. Well, obviously we want the search engines to find us, so we do not want to tick this box because it says discourage search engines from indexing this site. We do want to be indexed. Okay. Any changes you make, click save changes. Okay. We're not going to worry about this discussion at the moment or media. The next thing is permalinks. Now this is going to be really important, so I'm going to talk through that in a little bit more detail. So click on permalinks.